Okay, we're on merry-go-round for part 3 of daily number 730. When I look at this map, I just see no good places to expand for Zerg late game, right? You got a third here. Actually, let me turn on everyone. All right, so you got a second here. You don't really have a third here because of this formation. This shape is hard to deal with, where you have this push angle from here that can happen. Your Protoss is going to be able to attack you down from the high ground onto this one, and you don't have a good angle because you have this giant hole there. So, I mean, you're being funneled. There's going to be a building here, so there's actually a funnel here as well. So Protoss is happy if Zerg expands here. So Zerg can take this as a third. Cool. So Zerg has first, second, third, and the fourth is always bad. This is a struggle because Blink Stalkers and Colossus. I mean, whoops, I went to a blank screen. There we go. Blink Stalkers can come up and down. Colossus can come up and down. This expansion, pretty far away, but a little bit better. I mean, I might do this, but, you know, Protoss still can move relatively easily straight to that base. And if Protoss is here, then they can barrel in. Yeah, it's just, I mean, this maybe is the most reasonable fourth base. So if I'm Zerg, I'm like, man, how do I'm going to be on 3 base. This sucks, right? So Zest 2 has a third base problem. This third is not nearby anything, but Protosses are getting pretty good at figuring out how to take thirds. So with his tournament life on the line, let's appreciate Mr. Zoo. Excuse me, soO. Whoops. Who's been playing Hearthstone? Alright, here we go. Expand, man. Look how early this Droneroni is going out. Mr. Dronaringus Dingus. soO has not yet seen what his enemy is up to, so he goes pool, he goes extractor. There is the Nexus. Mr. Nexus, looking so good. Now, a lot of players like to go for Gateway after Nexus. They don't go for a fast forge because Zergs are cutting so many corners. So to keep Protoss honest, look at this. Look at this. Look at that horse. Pumping out lings. Lings before queens. Lings before queens. Lings before queens for days. Oh my god, speed before queens. Oh! And this probe is like, excuse me, Hatch, what are you doing here? Now, this is a sick play that looks very much so like an all-in play. It's hard for me to process what this is about, but it's pretty basic. It's placed in the middle so that one pylon can't really get enough surface area for a bunch of buildings to go down to wall it off. So the cancel could happen, or the queen production could just get started. There's not really enough space to get all that Schnurf stuff covered. Zerglings go into the main. They're just slaying off everything. And then a queen comes out even. This is so sick. Now, the Lings with speed get the opportunity to break in and just begin harassing probes like crazy. So here's the really awesome part. All these pop off, and soO just does not really use them. I mean, some of them get used, but most of these Lings just go straight up into the main. And soO doesn't even begin drone production right now, which is what I would expect from a responsible Zerg bear. The fact that there is this huge giant cavern at the front means that Zerglings can actually continue to sweep in this top. I mean, this was a debilitating move to have that huge hole there. I mean, like, you can't even build cannons here yet. Oh! Woo! Unit count, 13 is the drone count. Excuse me, 13 is the probe count. Look at this. Look at... Oh, yeah. Alright, well, let's attack this. This cannon is a unbelievably tough move to find. That is an amazing move right there. Oh, you want to advance forward? Oh! Slipping in, slipping in. soO was probably behind after that really impressive defense from Zest. I really got to give credit to this cannon. That cannon is amazing. But without buildings and a huge gaping hole at the front, Zerglings find a way. Now, what is getting hurt hard? Gas income for our Protoss friend. Is getting hurt very hard. It's just drone. It's just drone o'clock for soO. All things are delayed. All things are behind. And soO has the delicious ability to produce lots of drones. I mean, it's pretty straightforward after that. I always love when a Zerg player is being pretty aggressive about something like, you know... Oh no, don't freeze on me, bro! Okay. Sorry, my thing blipped. So Zerglings to scout, to see everything that's up. Map control obviously goes to Zerg. And then just nice precautionary measures from soO, because guess what? Protoss needs to take a third at some point, and it's going to be so damn hard to do that. So soO is basically saying, aha, I now am going to have an edge in 3 base versus 2 base. Especially because you are so far behind on probes. I mean, look at this, 30 probes at the 11. Excellent. So, quick little nice, smart answer from soO. I mean, I think that I would actually describe the key moment as this Roach Warren going down before these layers. That, I think, was really, really key. Getting that while getting up this 3rd base is, again, sometimes a hard move to find, because some people will freak out and over-drone and over-tech and lose. Some people will continue to build units, and they will under-drone, and they will lose. But soO just expands and gets this Roach Warren and keeps the Zerglings really active. He sees these Zealots and Stalkers move out. He is not willing to mess around. He is happy to build Roaches with an attack maybe not coming. Zest is staying spicy. Look at these Zerglings being kept to the back because the Zealots don't yet have speed, and then slain! Alright, it's time for the last final game. A very awkward little match. And then we're going to close out the show. They just have fantastic matches. I really think that the Zest soO GSL final is probably one of the top 3 GSL finals all time. I think it kind of has to be MVP versus Squirtle. I mean, it kind of has to be that. That's so good. And Squirtle was gone. Come on, Foxtrot Labs. Go, go, go. Load. Yes. Turn it off. Reboot. This is what I'm dealing with right now, guys. There it is. Okay, Foxtrot Labs. Very weird map. The weirdest of them all. Sure, we have a natural expansion, but look at this gigantic open nothingness. And yeah, are we going to wall this off? Well, this is awkward, because look how far away it is from the Nexus. This is a map that I'm just going to throw this out now. This is a good map to do some really cool ultra-fast speedling stuff on, because they will, if they build cannons here, you can break through and attack the Nexus, and the cannons, and even the pylon, are too far away from the Nexus to help. So a lot of people are going for this gateway foist stuff. Let's see what soO do. Straight expand, no problem, man. Alright. Alright, this is pretty of getting the gateway up and just kind of finding out, wait, are you going crazy on me? No, you're not. No, you're not. Okay, well, I'm just going to pretend that I was a guy who was early expanding, alright? Let's just pretend. Let's just make believe. Alright. Zealot gets built, Zealot gets canceled. See that little cool move? See how there was a Zealot almost done, then it got canceled? Boom! That move is normally used in Protoss versus Terran, but here it is happening late in the match. Oh, I love that move. Anytime a unit is canceled at the very end. Ooh! Tickles me. Gives me the tickles. So we see the speedlings coming up quickly. Why on this map? Because of this friend right here, man. That's real sexy to harass. You also have some weird other little backdoorsy things. The debris here. I mean, it's just an all-around nice place to poke. And we see everything else out of soO relatively normal. We also see so many high-low ground weird funkinesses that soO also applies. His rigorous scouting techniques, we see an evolution chamber coming up, all the usual things. Relatively by the book, but let me talk about something I mentioned on Deadwing that's going to come up rather prominently here. What did I say was a real standard thing for Protoss to do? Defensive units, sentries, to push with them, and then to recall home to a third. Let's look at what soO's doing here, because these are some key moments coming up. Right, getting +1 attack. This is also great at sentry-based forces, because the Zerglings just slip right through and are dealing extra punishing damage. Basic stuff coming up from Zest. No surprise here. soO's spotting it, no problem. Building a macro hatch. Very expected, very typical. 4 geysers going down. Any others? Nope. Going to be staying more on the Ling Roach composition. With a little bit of extra gas going to this thing. So great. Here is something I love. This is a gateway attack. We see gateways. We see gateways. You know what's really common to build after that? More gateways. A robo. Look at it starting. Look at how just now starting that robo is. Look at how oh so utterly recently begun that robo is. Remember on Deadwing? Do you remember what I said? Gateway attacks early work great as long as your gateway army is going to be good at defending the third. Oh, this is far away from the third, and it's an inverted ramp. Same with this. Ugh. In fact, this is actually not very nice to defend with a small number of gateway units, like a bunch of sentries. So look at it, little +1 is getting close to done. Zerglings popping up and checking, just doing some investigating. Where are the units? Where's the units? Now, Zest, I mean, he is doing this, and this is cool. You know, I'm glad he's doing that. This is a perfectly good thing to do. Remember, push with these defensive units. And then just recall out when you think it's a good time. But my goodness, what a move. This move right here, I love so much. I think what has to happen in a time like this for soO, or see, what has to happen in a time like this for Zest is he has to have already gotten so damn many gateway units. How many sentries go down? Not, I mean, obviously losing 2 sentries is big, but you wouldn't call this like a huge amount. But then soO just freaking rallies in, man. This is like Stefano style, man. Here's the missing gateways. Here's the gateways you were looking for. Love this little move, man. He's waiting. That recall. Oh! He recalled, so he does not quite have enough to do a second overcharge. This is just not a very big space. Look at this. This is not on Deadwing. There were 3 or 4 force fields that were needed to close off a ramp and help stay alive. And soO is still attacking with 8 fields done. Nothing but Zerglings getting produced. Why nothing but Zerglings right now? Why? Because these geysers haven't been taken. We haven't stockpiled gas for a transition, so we will just halt gas production to ease a transition. This is already working great. We also have Zerglings that are better at slipping through tinier cracks. And in a very standard kind of ZVP maneuvering, if you ever are able to apply a lot of Ling Roach pressure, transitioning as a follow-up straight into Mutalist is just fantastic. Now, it looks like Zest has been able to hold on, and he's done a pretty amazingly impressive job, but this is not a nice defensive area. 8 gateways in total. There hasn't been any Colossus production that's gone on. I think Zest is very smart for making this attempt. Because right now, you kind of are expecting that Zerg has begun his transition to his Spire stuffs. Or to, you know, whatever the hell. So, saying to yourself, dude, I'm just pushing with gateway units, come on. Gateway units with no gas. Let's go. And I think that this was like an even more incredible soul read from soO to be like, yeah, man, I know you're going to do a counter gateway push and not try to stabilize.